In 1587, 118 men, women, and children landed on Roanoke Island to establish the first English settlement in the Americas. Within 3 years, every single one of them was gone. The fate of these settlers grew into a founding American ghost story. Their disappearance has been heavily romanticized, becoming the subject of countless books, documentaries, and massive outdoor theatrical productions. One of those stage plays, appropriately titled The Lost Colony, has been running continuously in North Carolina since 1937. It's drawn millions of spectators over the decades, including President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Treating Roanoke as a supernatural vanishing act overlooks the physical records left at the site. The settlers followed a specific protocol to signal where they were going. The mystery is an active historical cold case. Today, archaeologists, historians, and geneticists are using cutting-edge technology to follow the trail those settlers left behind. When the colony's governor, John White, finally returned from a supply run to England in 1590, he didn't find a massacre. He found a site that had been methodically dismantled. The houses were taken down, and the area was enclosed by a high defensive palisade. Carved into one of those palisade posts, in clear capital letters, was the word CROATOAN. Before White left 3 years earlier, he had established a specific protocol. If the colonists were forced to flee in danger, they were to carve a Maltese cross above their destination. There was no cross on this post. This map shows the geography, and White knew exactly what the carving meant. The colonists had executed a planned relocation to the nearby island of CROATOAN, the home territory of Chief Montejo, an indigenous leader who was a staunch ally of the settlers. White tried to sail to CROATOAN to reunite with them. Instead, severe storms battered his ships, snapping his anchor cables and forcing him to abandon the search and return to England. The investigation stalled right there for over 4 centuries. This map, La Virginia Parse, was drawn by John White. It records the coast with remarkable accuracy. Recently, researchers noticed something unusual. Look closely at the Albemarle Sound and Pamlico River. There are 2 small paper patches glued directly onto the surface. To see what was underneath without damaging the 400-year-old paper, scientists at the British Museum placed the map on a light box. By transmitting light through the back of the document, they could look completely through the top layer. Beneath the northern patch, a shape appeared. A large Renaissance-style fort symbol, drawn in bright red and blue ink, positioned 50 miles inland. This symbol aligns perfectly with White's own journal. He explicitly wrote that before he left for England, the colonists were preparing to remove from Roanoke 50 miles into the mainland. Investigators now have 2 highly probable relocation sites, the island of CROATOAN and a hidden fort 50 miles inland. This was a strategic, planned retreat. Cut off from English supplies, this small group's only realistic path to long-term survival was to assimilate into the local Algonquian tribes. To test this theory, researchers launched the Lost Colony DNA project. The goal is to track the assimilation of the colonists by searching for specific European genetic markers in modern local populations. The project uses Y chromosome testing to follow paternal lineage. Because the Y chromosome is passed directly from father to son, geneticists can look for matches between the descendants of early Native American inhabitants and the specific English surnames recorded on the 1587 colonial roster. Mitochondrial DNA traces the maternal line. Surviving longer in bone, it is the best method for testing excavated skeletal remains found at these relocation sites. Genetic forensics changes the objective. Investigators are scanning local DNA, hunting for inherited 1587 markers to find living links today. The carved palisade, the hidden fort on the map, and the ongoing genetic research pull the story out of the realm of myth. The findings from the fort and the map provide a concrete roadmap of the colony's movement. These 118 people did not disappear through supernatural means. They faced the reality of a failed supply line and chose a path toward survival. Faced with abandonment, they adapted. They relied on their Native American allies, executed a tactical relocation, and began the process of merging with the indigenous population. The evidence at the fort and the symbols on the map show a coordinated move inland. The search now continues through the local DNA, seeking to confirm that these settlers survived by becoming part of the communities that welcomed them.